So I'll take a notepad as my editor as of now. So you can use, so I'll tell you what are the editors you have to use. Okay, so first let me, okay. So what is JavaScript? So if this is an interview question, so what is JavaScript? So what you have to tell us. So you need to mention. So what is meant by JavaScript? So it is a client-side scripting language. We also, I think you might have this server-side scripting, but I'm not sure. Okay, but I'll tell you one thing. If it is a JavaScript, so there is a lot of opening for JavaScript. Whenever you go for an interview, if you search in any job portals, okay, so just know what are the basics you have to learn. Okay, so first, why JavaScript, and so how we can learn JavaScript. Okay, so whatever the web page, website creation, you need to know some important things. So what are these? HTML and CSS, right? So you know about these two things, right? So now we'll come to know about JavaScript. So what is JavaScript? It is a client-side scripting language. Why we are going for this? Is it easy to use? Yes, it is easy to use. Okay, so it is easy to use. Actually, why we are saying it is easy to use? What are the advantages we have? So let's see about the advantages, okay, and the features why we are going for this JavaScript. The first thing is it is very simple. So why we are saying it as a simple? Because users and the developers, you know, will find the structures to be straightforward. Okay, so this is, and also it's able to create a dynamic content. Okay. And also this is very speed. Why we are saying it is a speed? Why? Because it is a interpreted language. So it's cuts down on the time needed for a compilation in other programming. So if you take example, you might have know about Java, right? So in Java and all, what we have to do is we need to do the compilation. Then only we'll get a output. So that is not needed here. It is speed. So it cuts down the time. So needed for the compilations, like the programming languages like Java. Okay, and other client side script is JavaScript. So actually it eliminates the time for the server connections. One more thing is, so execution by eliminating the wait time for server connections. So we need to know the basics, right? So that's why I'm explaining you this. And next one is intro interoperability. So what is interoperability? Example, it integrates with other programming languages. So we should know the, A difference between programming language, what is client scripting, markup, and server sides. So programming language is C, C++, Java, so it will be. And if you take client side is a JavaScript, one of the example. And if you go to server side scripting, so we have PHP. Okay, so these are all the example. And many developers, so many developers, favor, so they likes to use this developer. That is the reason I told you, if you know JavaScript, it is well and good. Okay, so using it, create a variety of applications. So any web page or a script of another programming contain it. So mostly we'll use a JavaScript. Okay, so favorite one. And server load. First is simple and speed and interoperability in server load. So server load in the sense a data validation. So data validation in the sense, you already know, right? So if you have a form, a basic validation is to check whether the field has been filled or not. If you go to the data validation, it will check what is the content is in the field, whether it is correct or wrong. So that is called as a data validation. So can be done itself rather than being forwarded to the server. Okay, instead of it will not be going to the server to check whether the details is correct or wrong. So within the browser itself, it will check, because this is just a client side scripting. This is not a server side scripting. Okay, and the entire website. So if you see the entire website does not need to be overloaded in the event. For example, we can take any of the website. Okay, example cricket commentary. So previously, if you want to check the cricket scores, what we'll do? So what happened is you have to refresh the page each and every time. So you don't want to do anything. So what happened is using this JavaScript for example, we can take H1. H1 heading is my element. So what I will do is I'll just set details to be uploaded in this HTML element for the H1 only. So we don't want to, load the entire page. Just we are going to give the element alone. So what happened? That element alone will get refreshed. So this is what we are doing in the JavaScript. So, okay. So what are the disadvantages we have in so these are the advantages. Now we are going to see about disadvantages. What are the disadvantages we have? So first, cannot debug. So we can debug actually. So we can do debug using, we can right click on it to see here. So we can take any website. So let it be a google.com. Just right click on this, go to inspect. In this, you can go to the console. Here you can see a error. A debugging can be done. But what they are trying to say is, although some HTML editors allow for debugging, but what they are trying to say, but it is not effective. It is not as effective for C and C++. So that is a thing they are trying to say. Okay. And also we cannot do any, client side security is not possible. We cannot secure the data. Okay, that is not at all possible. So could be misused. Could be misused by others. And these actions might involve using a source code anonymously. Okay, that's what they are trying to say. And if you know Java, so there will be something called as an inheritance. That is not possible in JavaScript. So inheritance is like multiple inheritance. So if there is only one inheritance, then it can be supported. But if you are going to use multiple inheritance, JS does not support. So in the sense, nothing but if you are trying to run some classes on the same thread, okay, on the same way, then it will not be possible. So multiple inheritance not possible. And so okay, so these are the main disadvantages. And also we cannot do any networking node concepts, so we cannot do that. Okay, so these are the some example for JavaScript thing. And now we'll just know how to have a content and what are the things we should know. Okay, so let's discuss.
వచ్చిందనుకో వాళ్ళ కలర్ కొట్టిపోతుంది
Guys,
ఇందాక మేము
please be on mute now.
4 చూసిన అది వాళ్ళదే అంటున్నా. అదే 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 మనం తెచ్చిందా తెచ్చికాలే నాన్న ఫెమినైనా అమ్మా
And so how we are going to create a JavaScript file? Okay, so the first thing is the same basic structure what we have used in HTML. So doc type HTML and HTML slash HTML. So within this, you are going to give head slash head and then body element. So this is how it will be. Okay. So now how we need to import our codes. Okay. So that is the questions which will be rising in our mind. So you should save a file as a .html. Okay. So we can give it in head or we can go with the body element. So either you can go. So if I'm going to give it in the body element, you should give a script element here. So in CSS, what we'll do, we have to give a style elements, right? So now here we are giving a script element. Okay, within this only we are going to go. So either can give script element in a body or can go with the head element. Okay, so this is also most advisable one is you can go with the head element. Okay, so I'm trying to say, so this is how it will be. So either you can go here or this one. Okay, and what is the third options we have? Okay, this is the first way. And the second way, what is the second way? Second way is if suppose I'm going to give some functionality. Okay, if I'm going to give some functionality on my external file, so what I will do? Okay, so see here, file, new, file, save as. Okay, here I'm going to save it as JavaScript. So here I will save it as JavaScript file. Okay, just save here. So now in this place, what you will do is here you are going to code and you are going to import it in the head element. If you are creating an external JavaScript file, then need to be imported in the head element. Okay, so how we can do is here in a CSS, what you will do, you have to use a link tag. Here you need to mention script element slash script element. Okay, this is how it will be. So in this place, you need to mention src file name, and also one more attribute you need to mention. But as of now, I'm giving src. You can also give type text slash javascript. Okay, so this is a that is, it will be in a plain text, right? And also this will be in a JavaScript format. So that is the reason I was given that. And in this src file, what is the JavaScript file name? Sorry guys, it is Java scripted.js. Okay, so this is how you will be saving. Okay, and now the next thing is we should know what are the keywords we are going to use. Okay, so keywords here we will use let, const, let, const, and then other thing is the third three things will be the keyword. So this is definitely your interview question. Okay, so let constant variables, what's the difference? So first we should understand what is this. So if you are trying to assign some value for a variable, then you are going to use this keywords. Okay, so see here, variable keyword. So I'm giving a equals to some number or a string. So string will be, I'm giving a name as, mm, okay, Kamakshi. Okay, so Kamakshi is a name. Kamakshi is a name. So here, this is a variable keyword, and this is a variable name, and this is your value. So if you want to print this value, what I will do is a document dot write. See here, so document is a object. Okay, in this object I have a method that is called as a write. So in this document object I have so many methods. Example, we can say get element by id or class name, tag name, and there are so many. Okay, so from that I took only one write method. So here what I will do is I'm going to give a variable name as a. So what happens if I save this? So just go to this JavaScript file. You can see a Kamakshi name is printed over here. So this is how it will be. Okay. And if I'm giving some value, so what's the main difference between these keywords? If I'm giving some 10 as my value and a is equals to 11. So I'm going to give it as a redeclaration. So what is redeclaration? Redeclaration means the same variable I'm going to assign some other value. Okay, we'll check document dot write is a method. Here I'm going to give a variable as a. So let's check what happens. So I'm getting a value as 11. Okay, so I'm getting a value as 11. Okay, the redeclaration is possible here. Now I'm trying to give a value as 12. That is, I'm going to reassign. So reassign in the sense the same equal to 11, I'm going to give some other value. So now we will check. Yes, it is changing. So what is the answer? See here for the variable keyword. Can do a redeclaration and also reassignment is possible. Okay, is that okay? Now Let's see what is let keyword. So let keyword, I'm trying to do the declaration again. Sorry, ma'am. So let keyword, and changing this to let keyword. Okay. So now we'll check the output. So I'm just refreshing it. You can see there is no output. Go and right click and click on inspect. In the console, you can see the error. The identifier A is already been declared. So what you can understand? So here the re-declaration not possible. Okay, let's try the reassignment. Now I'm going to give a value as A equal to 20. So now we'll go and check. Yes, I'm getting the value here. So you can see A is 20. So it is possible. Okay, but sorry, assignment. So assignment is possible. Okay. Assignment is possible. And if you go with the constant, okay, I'm giving this to be constant. See here, I'll be throwing an error. You can see the error, right click, go inspect console. So you can see a error. And the same while A equals to 21. So here also the assignment to the constant variable error. So both redeclaration assignment not possible. Okay, so both cannot be possible here. This is what a difference between this keyword. So next what we have to understand is what are the different data types we have. Data types. So actually we have some two data types. The first one is primitive, non-primitive. One second. Okay. So the next is so here the primitive data type is we have something called number, string, and then boolean, undefined, null. Okay, so these are the primitive data types. So what is primitive data type is? Data type is a predefined one. Okay, it is a predefined one. And non-primitive data types is a customized one. So customized in the sense, so it is created by a developer. Okay, it is created by a developers. Example, if you become a developer, you already know some data types and you are trying to create a new one, then that is called as a primitive data types. Okay, and here we have something called as array and object, so etc. So these are all called as a non-primitive data types. Okay, and so how we'll understand what is these what are the data types we have. So go here. So first, I'll give some variable a is equals to 10 and variable, so here itself b is equals to some name. So better I'll do it. Document dot write. So here you will mention a type of. So type of method is nothing but it is used to find the data type, what data type it is. If example, I'm giving a number 10. Okay, so let's check. So what happens? Refresh and check. So what it's saying, it is a number data type. It is not printing a 10 value. So it is just telling what data type it is. Just copy this. And here you can see the type of is, I'm giving a name. So I'm passing a string. So let's check what happens. You can see the data type is string. It's a string data type. So why I'm giving BR is nothing but I need some break line. For that purpose, I'm giving this. Okay. So now the next one is, I'll copy this thing. See here, I'm giving it, I'm changing this to be some booleans. So I'm giving true. Okay. So let's check. So what happens? Here you can see the value is a boolean. Okay, and now I'm trying to create some variable, and but I'm not assigning the variable for it. So let's check. So what will be the output? So document dot write. Try to get this value. So now you can see it is called as a undefined. So if you're not assigning any value and trying to get the output, then it will be mentioned as a undefined. And the last one is so we'll know what is nan. So this is a command line. So if you're trying to input some reminders or notification, then you can go for this double slash, and this is for multiple lines. Okay, if you are trying to give multiple lines, then you need to mention this. Okay, this is for multiple command line. Okay, so in LAN, what you will do is, if example, document dot write. Okay, so I'm trying to get the output for some values. Okay, and see here. So variable b is equal to some 10 and c equals to giving a value as hello. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to print this value. So b plus c. I'll put the break with this statement. So here you can see 10 hello. Okay, it is what is the thing is, if you use a plus operator here, so it will consider as a concatenation. Concatenation is nothing but adding two variables. Okay, and the next thing is the same thing. Okay, so copy this. So nan is nothing but not a number. So this is a very famous, the frequently asked question. So please make a note of it. So here, if I use minus, so to check the output, so what is our output? It is a none. It is a not a number. You can see it here. See here, it is not a number. Why? Because the concatenation symbols only it will be acceptable. Other, operator, it will be considered as a not a none. So if I try to give, uh, see here, so I'm changing this to be multiplication and divide. Okay. If I'm doing this, what happened? Again, I will get a nan nan nan. It's a not a number. Okay. That you have to understood. These are the basic interview questions. So if you go for a JavaScript, basic round will be like this. What is different keywords? What are the data types you have? And what is not a number? What is undefined? So these questions will be asked. Okay. And the next thing is you should know what is increment and decrement. So operators. Example, if I'm giving a variable as d equals to some 11 and e is equals to some 12. So there are so many operators we have. First is arithmetic operator. So arithmetic operators, see here, this. Here I'm changing this B C to B E N. Here also just this to be a modulo. So now we will check the value. So here you can see the arithmetic operator is, see here it is 23, 11 plus 12 and minus d minus e is minus 1, and if you multiply you will get 132, and if you divide you will get 0.91, and the reminders, what is the reminder? It will be some 11. Okay, so this is how it will be. Okay, this is called as a modulus, and we have something called as a relational or equal operator. Is we'll complete the session till 6:30. Okay, please be connected. So we'll complete as much as possible. Okay, in relational operators, if you see, if I'm going to compare some value, so let's take this one, just copying this. Okay, so let's take the same value 11 and 12. I'm giving it as like this. Okay, so D is less than E. Okay, so this is a statement I'm giving, and here I'm giving is a greater, and here I'm giving it is equals to, and here it's gonna be, here I will add one more variable, so variable F, or we already have one string variable, right? C. Triple equals to C, and this also C. So I'll name this one. So this is called as a equal operator, and this is called as a strict equal operator. So this question definitely they will ask. What is the difference between a strict equal and equal operator? Okay, and here I will mention one thing. Okay, so these are the important difference. So let's check what it makes a sense. Okay, we'll check the output first. Okay, so see here, ma. So this is D is less than E. Okay, D is less than E is yes, so little bit go up. So here you can see 11, 12. Okay, so 11, 12. What happened is, so yes, it is the E is greater than, it is true. And next it will check the this value, so it is false. And if you can see a D equal to C, so D value is a number and C is a string. So it will check whether these thing is true or false. For example, better I'll do one thing. I'll give one more variable. So F is equals to change this to F. F and here also F and this to be F. Okay, so this is how it will be. So now you can see a D is 11 and here we have it as a 11. But the data type differs. So that is a number and this is a string because we have mentioned it in the double quotes. So what happened is this is true. If you use triple equals to, it will check the data type. It will check the data type. So it is considered as a false and not equal to is definitely it is inverted. So if it is a true and this will become a false. And for this triple equals to, it will be reversed and it will become a true. So this is how the relational and equal operator will be. Okay. And something called as a logical operator. So what is logical operator? Let's check. So mostly you will use this logical operator. So document dot write. Okay. I'm trying to check two conditions here. So I'll use ampersand ampersand. Ampersand means a and operator. So operator is nothing but it will check whether both the condition is true. Okay. So let's take I'm giving one more variable. So variable g is equals to some 10 and then h is equals to some 40. Here I'm giving it as 30. Okay, so let's check. So I'm giving g is less than 40. Okay, and here I'm giving better we'll do like this. So g is greater than h and g is a number is better. So G is less than 20, 40. and here I'm giving it as h is greater than some 10. Okay, so this is how the statement. So let's check what happens. I put a break. So here you can see the value is true. Okay, so why the value is true? So you can check, yes, the G is greater than 40 and H is, yes, true. The condition is true. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to change this to be like this. So now we'll check it as false. Why? Because, so if you use, ampersand operator, it will check all the condition should be true. Otherwise, it will mention as a false. Okay, so the same condition I'm checking. Okay, the false condition. So I'm getting this. Now I'm going to use the or operator. So this is a or operator. Operator. Okay. So here we'll check. So what happens? So here it is saying true. Why? Because so either any one condition is true, so it will also be a true. Okay, so this is how it will be. So these are the difference operator. uh, these are the important operators you should know. And next we'll see how to navigate with the HTML elements. So we can go with the HTML elements and how we can create an elements, so that we will discuss. So first thing is, first we need to know what is DOM. That is, DOM is document object model. So definitely they will ask in an interview. So what is HTML DOM and what are the examples you have? So let's first understand what is DOM. So we'll better take a new file. Basic structure. Type. Okay, so this is how it will be. First, we'll understand what is DOM. If this is your interview question, so what is DOM? So it's a document object. So what is document object model? So first, see here. So the first thing is here all the HTML elements. Okay, all the HTML elements as a object. So it will be considered as an objects, and the properties in the sense if you're going to change something. So of all the HTML elements, so it defines everything. So it will define everything. And then also the method to access all HTML element. So as of now, we know only one method that is called as a write method, right? Next, events for all HTML elements. So this is how it will be. Okay, so these are the things we are going to use in the doc. So first one is HTML elements as an object, and the next one is a properties and methods and events. So how we are going to do this? So first we'll understand what are the methods we have in HTML. So if I'm creating one element, let's take for an example, I've created some text here as a heading one. Okay, this is my heading one slash h1. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm going to write a script, JavaScript. So here I need to do something in this h1. I'm not going to give any text. I'm going to use elements as my object, and I'm going to give a property for that. So how I can give the property? So you need to use document object, and you need to mention the methods. So if you want to access the HTML element, what you have to do? You need to access the method, right? Sorry, you need to use a method. So method is get element by ID. So this should be in a camel case. Camel case is nothing but, so first word should be in a small letter. The other words, first character, it should be in a capital letter. So within this, in this H1, I'm going to mention some ID. So let's take for an example A. So this is my ID. Here I'm giving it as a. Okay. So now in this heading, I'm going to mention some text. So in a HTML. So this is the property. See here, property of the all the HTML. So if you're going to give some property, you need to mention using this dot symbol. After the method, you need to mention like this, equals to, I'm going to print some details. So it's a foundation class for Rayalaseema and Annamacharya. Okay, so this is my text. So let's check the output. So now you can see the text, but I have not imported here. So if you want to, access the HTML element, you have to use this kind of thing. You have to create an ID, or you can create a class and tag names. So I hope you would have understand what it is. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next, we'll understand. So what are the things we need to use? So now we know how to get the element using the IDs. If I specific any ID, I can get it. But how I can do it using a tag name? So let's say for an example, just going to get the element example. I have some different paragraphs. Okay. So just copy all these things. So here I will give some information. Zero. Okay. So HTML, CSS, and here JavaScript. Okay, this is how it will be. And next, here I'll go down and document dot get element by a tag name. So elements it will be. So because we have so many elements, only in the ID, we have only one ID. Okay. So as a rule, you know, there will be only one ID you have to create for a one element. Okay. And you can also create, but you have to mention like this. And for the paragraph, there is a different paragraphs, this different paragraph content which has the same element, right? So that is the reason we are mentioning it as a get elements. Okay. And by tag name. So here what we'll do is you need to mention the paragraph. So I have mentioned it as a paragraph, just click like this, and I'm going to print it somewhere else. I need it to be printed in paragraph. So here I want it to be printed in the paragraph mode, or you can change to be the h2, because we already specified h1, right? So I'm going for this, and I'm giving a id equals to some name. So let's say for an example b. Okay. Here document. So just we'll copy the previous thing. Copy this. So here you need to change the ID to be a B. Okay, and you're getting the properties. You're going to get the property. And in this place, you should understand the thing. So what I'm going to do is I want this text to be displayed, and also I am going to assign some variable for this. So where it should, what are the details it going to print? Okay. So for this const, I'll give it as C. So C equals to. So here I will mention C dot, that is sorry, C of which element is going to display. So as of now, I'm teaching JavaScript. So I'll take this element. So how will take, so it will be in an array format, right? So array means it will start from 0. So 0, 1 and 2. So here I will mention this to be a 2 dot inner HTML. Okay, so now we'll check what's our output. So here you can see the JavaScript value. So if I'm trying to, change this element index name to be a 1, and this you can see here it is CSS. Okay, this is how it will be. And one more thing which is called as a class name. So class name also the same thing. So example, I'll take h3. Have so many h3s. Okay, content would be like assessment. mm, Attendance. Okay. So this is how I've given some text. Now I want all the same thing to be applied for all these things. So I'm giving a class to be D. Okay, the class name I'm giving as a D. Class equals to D, and here also class equals to D. Okay, so come down. So here what we'll do is just copy all this thing, paste it here. Now I will change. I'm going to print all this in the h4 element. Okay, so slash h4, and I'm giving an ID as to be. I hope I didn't use a e variable. Okay, and here I will assign a variable name as ef and get element by tag by a class name. So here I will change this to class name, and this gonna be a class name is what, h3. Okay, and come down in elements by id. What is the class name we are giving? Sorry, this id name, it is e. So give e dot inner html, and from f which element is going to display. So as of now we are doing the attendance, right? I don't go with the assessment. So attendance, it's a D. Um, so I'll change this to F, and 0, this is 1 and 2. So I want the first one. So let's check what happens. A minute, let me check once again. Some error. Uh, ID is E. Okay, sorry. cannot read the properties of undefined inner HTML. So where it is? Okay, sorry. So I need to mention the class name, right? I have mentioned the this one. What is that? Tag name. So that is the reason. So now we will get the output. So here you can see the value as attendance. If I change that to be a 0, and I will get a value as assessment. Okay. So this is how it will be. So you should know these things. And if you're trying to fetch all the queries, so this most probably you will use. Okay, so see here the same thing in the class itself. I'll tell you one more method. Okay, what we'll do is, instead of giving the get elements by class name, we'll change that to be a query selector all. Okay, so query selector all, what happen is it will fetch the particular query. For example, I have different D. So I have a class name. I'm using the same class name in a different element. If it is a H5, I'm using the same class name. Example, let's take this example. Just copy this. And I'm changing this element to be H5. Okay. So here what I'm doing is I want the H3 element. So H3 dot D. Okay. So H3 is my tag name and D is my class name. So I want to print all these details. So what I will do is H3 dot D, and which particular thing you're going to display that you need to mention. So I want 2 to be displayed. So here you can see it is mentioned as a project. So what is the use is, it will get the values, or it will fetch all the queries which is mentioned. For that reason we are going for this query selector. You will use this query selector in your projects while you're creating a JavaScript projects, definitely. Sorry ma. Once again. This Girisha, you're in. Please put on mute, ma. Girisha, Sai Girisha. So next we'll understand how to change the content. If I want to color the text, how I can do that. Okay, so let's see how we can change the color. And if you want to import some images, that can also be possible. let's say for an example, I have some text and I just want to color it. So what I will do is, better we can have some button for this. Okay, let's set some button. Type equals to button, and then uh, giving some on click function. Okay, instead of doing this, simply I'll do it. What I will do is I want to color this text. Okay, just copy this. I want to color this. What I'm going to do is just change this text. I want to color this AID. Okay. You need to add a thing like style. So if you want to add it in a CS, what you will do, you have to use a element, right? You need to use a element as a style element. So now here you have to use it as a property. There is object. So style and dot what you're going to change. So if I'm going to change the color, then you need to mention it as a color. So I'm giving some red. So now we'll check. So you can see the color has been changed. Okay. And if I want to change the background color, so let's copy this. Okay. And here, changing this to background. So you can see the text color and the background color has been changed. So this is how you will be changing the style of the colors. Okay. So you can use multiple properties if you want to change your these things, right? If example, if you are trying to change, okay, ma'am. So the next one is, so we'll understand so how to create a JavaScript validation forms. Okay, so I'll create one new file. JavaScript forms 1.html. So here, what you will do is, so first we need to give a basic thing. So I'm going to do the basic validation, not a big thing. Doc type HTML, HTML, HTML. So here I will create one input, that is a form. So form slash form. Okay, this is my form, and here I will add only one input. That is nothing but name. So name, input, the type equals to be a text, and I'm giving a name as to be f name. Okay, the first name I'm going to get, and I need some submit button. So input type equals to submit. So we already know this in HTML itself, right? So here I'm giving it as a value submit. So this is how it will be. Okay, so we'll check the output. So we got one name and the input field and submit button. So what you will do is, here I'm going to check the validation whether the user gives an input in that field, input field. It should throw whether it is true or false, whether there is error in the field. Okay, so here I will give some name. So name to be my form. So this is the name I'm giving, and the action. Action is nothing but where it going to save the information, like a server scripting language you need to mention. So I'm giving some fake name, so action page dot php. Okay, so this is how it will be. So and then I'm giving on submit. On submit equals to a written validate form method. Okay, so why we are giving this one is, this is nothing but I'll tell you. Okay, so see here, this on submit is nothing but this is a event. So this event is why we are using this. Example, if I'm trying to give something called I'm going to submit my application. So after submitting only, I want something to be showing whether it is correct or wrong. Okay, for that purpose, I'm going to use this. So this is my return function. You have to use a return keyword and go up. In the head, I'm going to use a script. So I already told you. So you can either use in head or the body element. So as of now, I'm using it the head element. Okay. So here, so what I will do is, here I'm going to do some manipulation. So on submit is an attribute. We have so many attributes. Sorry, that is like on click and on double click, and we have so many attributes for this functionality, JavaScript functionality. As of now, the form I'm using on submit. Okay, just go here and give a function keyword. So in this, what is the function name I've given? So a of. So just go and give a of. So here I'm going to do the validation. So what is the validation? I'm going to create a variable. So let's say for an example, B is my variable. A document is my object. So here I'm going to fetch the form. Okay. So I'm giving it as a forms. So you can mention forms or you can go with a form dot my form. So either you can. So as of now, I'm giving a forms. So in this, I'll mention what is my form name. My form name is my form. Okay. And then here I will give double quotes. In within this, I'll mention F name. So F name is what I'm going to fetch the F name details, right? Dot value. So I want the values of forms, and in that I need a value for F name dot value. Okay. Now I want to check whether it is empty, whether the input is empty or not. So B equals to double quotes. Here I will mention, so if it is MP, then what happen is alert, you must fill the name. So this is the output it will be. And I'm giving a return statement to be false. Okay, so let's check. So this is a simple validation. So this one. So here what I will do is I'm not giving anything and I'm trying to give. So one second, I did some mistake. So A of is given, document dot forms, and then it is my form. F name is there and dot value. Yeah. And I'm checking the variables. Empty, and it should throw a message return false, and yeah, sorry, and close this function. So here you can see you must fill the name. So this is how it will be. For example, trying to create one more thing. Okay, let's check this. So if it is a last name, so last name. So here I'm changing this to be L. Okay, just refresh. I've given some details. Here I'm not giving anything. I'm trying to give. So the error must be you must fill the last name. And I have typed name. So here I'm typing my name and I'm not giving any information. I'm trying to submit. So you must fill the last name. This is how you have to create a basic validation. Okay. So this is called as a basic validation. And next, so I hope you understand. So what is a validation, data validation, and you can give some more constraints also. That also possible, and we'll understand how to give an events. So what is event, and what are the some examples we have, and also before going to the events, we'll see how to make a animation. Okay, so that I will take one more file. Okay, so So first we'll understand what is events. So there are so many different events we have, and I'll tell you what are the events. So events in the sense, example, we have something called as a mouse events. Mouse events. Okay, in mouse events, say examples are click and mouse over, and we have something called mouse out and mouse down and mouse up and mouse move. Okay, and in keyboard events, we have something called as key down and key press and key up. So these are some examples. We have a lot more. And already we know for the forms. So forms, we know submit, right? Submit. This is for form events. So how we can give some events for element. That's what we are going to see. Okay. So here we have something called focus, change, submit. Okay. So these are all called as a form events. Okay, so these are the some important things so which we are going to learn. So first we'll go with the mouse events. I'm going to create a one button. Okay, so button type equals to button, and here I'm going to give one that is attribute on click. So on click is my attribute. So here what you have to mention is you have to mention the function name. So scripts flash script. Okay, so in this what you will do is go here. In the script I'm creating a function, so function a of is my function. Okay, I need some confirmation box, so I'm giving confirm method. So in this confirm method I'll give enter your yes, sorry, have you entered your details. So I'm just going to give it as a confirm event. So confirm method is nothing but if example if you want to mention something called as whether it has been filled or not. So that kind of question will be asked whether it is yes or no. Just go and refresh. So I think it's a different file. Let's open this. Sorry. Okay, I didn't give the name for this button, so better I'll give a name. Uh, it's gonna be click slash button. Okay, and on click, I'll give a off. So here you have button. So just click on this. You can see here confirmation button. Have you entered your details? Yes. Okay or cancel. So this is how it will be. For that purpose, we are going for this click event. And we'll see one more example for that is mouse event. Mm, let's take for an example. I have some that is input field, or let it be some text. If I hover that particular text, I want something to be done. Okay, so that's what I need. So let's check for the on mouse over. Sorry, ma'am. Okay, so let's take one paragraph. Okay, slash paragraph. So here I will give some text. Okay, mouse over. So in this mouse over, I'm giving a some sorry attribute that is called mouse on mouse over. So this is my attribute. Here I will give a function name. So this is only a predefined or reserved one. This is not a reserved one. You can give whatever the name you want. So I'm giving it as a b of. Okay, I'll just hide this. Here I'm going to mention one more function that is called as a function b of. So here I need something to be displayed. I'll give alert box to be displayed once I hover the mouse. So here if I hover this mouse, I can see the text. If I hover here, I can't do anything. Here if I hover, I can see something. So this is called as a mouse hover. And also we can have something called as a on focus. So on focus is a form events. So let's check. I'm giving some text. Okay, input field. Input type is equals to some text and the ID to be let's take for D of sorry D, and then the attribute I'm using is on focus. Within this, I'm giving a function. So function name it's going to be E of. Okay. So let's come down and have a function. So function keyword E of. So when I click and type something on that input field, I want some background to be changed. Yes, who's that? Please put be on mute, ma. Who's that, please? So here what I will do is I'll select that element document dot get element by ID. Within this, it is a D, right? So D dot I'm going to add some style. So style dot background. So I want background color to be yellow. Uh, okay. Who's that? Yes, Babita. Babita, please be on mute. Babita. Okay, so let's run this code. So when I click on that keypad, what happens? So it focus, right? So if you want to focus something, then you can change like this. And we see one more example for keyboard. Okay, so keyboard is nothing but let's copy this input element. Okay, so here what I will do is I'm going to change this ID to be some F. Okay, and also here attribute is on key down. So on key down is method let it be G of, and I'm creating is a function. It's a key. What is the function name? It is G, right? So G of. So if I press something, if I click on that input field, it should throw some alert message that is you press the key. Okay, so you have pressed some key, so that is the information you should throw. So what I will do is document dot get element by id. So within this, what is id name? It is F. Okay, so put semicolon and then alert message to be thrown like pressed a key. You pressed a key. So this is the information we will. So let's check. So if I click on mouse, nothing has happened. I'm clicking on the keyboard. So what happened is it's showing that you pressed the key. So it will not react to your mouse. It will only accept what your information. So that is what you have given in the through the keyboard. Okay, I hope you would have understood what is a keyboard events. Am I right? Yes or no? Okay. So we have, I think we have two more things that is called as animation, JavaScript animation, and sessions and cookies. Okay, let's see. I think we have only 4 more minutes. And do you guys have any questions in Microsoft certification? Yes or no? Yes, please. If you have any queries, you can share your screen. Okay, see here in JavaScript animation, what we are going to do. Okay, simple animation will do. Doc type HTML. So here I will have some HTML code slash HTML, and here I need head slash head slash body element. Okay. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one container. Within that container, I'm going to give some absolute container. We already know what is absolute and relative. That I'm going to apply, and I'm going to move that absolute to be to some position. So that is my criteria which I'm going to apply. Okay. So first I will create a two container in the body element. So div id is equals to a container. So name I will give it as relative. Better we go with this container, and then I'm closing this div, and then again one more within this is a parent element. Okay, this is a relative, and within this I'm going to create one more div container. Id is equals to nothing but animate. Okay, so slash div. So this is how it will be. So two container is there. So you go to the heading element and just style that. So hash. So id means what you have to use it hash. So hash container, and here you will mention hash animate. Okay. In this container, I'm giving some width. So width to be some 500 pixels, and then height, it's going to be some 400 pixels. I'm giving some properties for that. Okay, so that we can see the movement animation. So here I'm giving it as a relative, and background color going to be a cyan. Okay. And in animation, the same thing will be applied, but it's going to be a small element, right? So this animate ID is going to move. So for this, I'm setting the width to be 50, and here it's going to be 50. Okay. And what we have to change, so this is a child, so obviously it will be an absolute. And if you want to change the color, yes, I'm going to change this to be pink. Okay, so this is how it will be, and you have to mention within the style element, right? Style slash script. Okay, so next you need to apply the JavaScript. So we are going to use the apply the JavaScript. So come down here, give script the element slash script. Okay, so within this you are going to make the animation movement. So first of all, what I will do is I will give a function. I will create a function keyword as my. This is the method I'm going to use. Okay, function keyword. So here, curly brace. So within this curly brace, let keyword and give a ID to be null. So it should be empty. So the ID should be empty first. Okay, and next I'm going to get the const element. Const element is going to be a document dot get element by ID, which I'm going to get this animate is going to move, right? So I'm going to get this animate. So animate. So just close it. And next one is you need to set the position. So position of this, animate is going to be a 0 first. There is nothing a position I have set. So clear the interval if any. It should be null. Okay, that is I'm passing the ID variable. And next thing is you need to assign the ID to be. So once it is get cleared, you have to assign the ID to be a set interval. Set interval is a method. It has two that is parameters. One is function, callback function, and how many time that is a second it's going to display. So that interval you are going to mention there. Okay. So function, what is the function here? Callback function is frame. So for frame, what I will do is I'm going to set some if condition. So if, okay, if my position is some around 450, so what has to be done is we need to clear the interval because it has been reached the maximum value, right? So I'm going to clear the interval. So clear interval ID. Okay. And next one is just close this. Just close this. I think if is closed and this for is closed. Okay. So this is how it will be. Next is I'm going to create an else. So else, in this else, if it is not reached a 450, okay, that is a pixel, then what happen is element dot style dot top. So it has to be increased at the top to be the position of POS plus it should increase the pixel value. And next element dot style dot left. It should increase the the style to be the position value should be how much it should increase to the position of the pixel. So this is how it will be increasing. So let's check what happens. I think that's different. Mm, So it shows the mirror. I have not closed in script. Okay. Body element. TIB. One second, guys. Once we complete this, you can move. And in the next class, we'll see about the sessions and cookies. Okay. So, okay, sorry. So what we need? We need a button, right? To select the button only, you will get a animation. So first I'll set a button on click. If I click on that button, so what is the function name which I've given in the script? It is called my move, right? So here you need to mention my off. Okay, and then give some name for it. So animate slash button. Okay, so I'll try this. So I got this one, but the color is not visible.
Ma'am, spelling mistake.
Wait, ma.
CSS. With or with, ma'am?
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, ma. Good, thank you. Still now I didn't get that. With this 500 heights. Okay, I got it. So some spelling mistake. So just click on this animate. So here I give the same function name. Yes. Button container and animate. Give me 1 second. Let me check.